One of the features in Roam that doesn't get talked about a lot is text formatting. I think it doesn't get talked about a lot simply because it's a relatively standard feature, but nonetheless, it's important to know that you have these options available to you. This is very simple. It's a level up, but it's very simple. We have here your normal standard formatting. You can find bold, italics, and highlight in the slash menu. You can also access them via keyboard shortcuts. So if I want to make something bold, let's imagine first that I'm doing it from the slash menu. If I hit / and start typing bold, you can see bold comes right up as an option. And you'll also notice I'm on a Windows machine. It says Control B. That would be Command B on a Mac. But if I hit that, I'm going to get the asterisks that denote bold text in Roam, and then I can write, the word bold, and when I click out of there, you'll see it is, in fact, bold. So same thing with italics here. If I were to hit the / start typing italics, you can see it's Control I or Command I, but I don't need to do it that way. I can just hit Enter from here, and if I type the word italics, it'll be in between those underscores. There's 2 of them, and you'll see it will render as italics when I click out of there. Highlight from the slash menu. You can see Control H on a Windows machine here. Do that, and I have my nice yellow highlighted text. And so if you don't remember a keyboard shortcut for something, you can find them up here in the help menu. You'll see all the formatting options are down here. Mine are listed for Windows, of course, because I'm on a Windows machine, but it would be, whatever machine you were on. And you can also, though, use that slash menu, and you can find the keyboard shortcuts will be listed there as well. If you're using keyboard shortcuts, you can actually use these formatting options after the fact. So if I were to highlight the word bold here, and if I were to hit a / to do the slash menu, it would just delete it. But if I were to use the keyboard shortcut, oops, sorry, I went too far there. If I were to use the keyboard shortcut of Control B, it'll put the asterisks around it. So it will actually work. The keyboard shortcuts, you can have it selected and then choose the option, and it will set that up for you. A few additional formatting options here. You can do strike through of text. So I'll just give you an example of that from the menu here. You see on this one on Windows, that's Windows key plus Y to do that. But if I do this, you can see I can do that. Strike through comes out of the text. If I hit Windows Y, it'll give you the 2 little curly cues, the tilde is there, and it will mark that as strike through. Code has a couple of different formats. If you just want to do it inline, the tick button, if you hit that, will automatically wrap anything you have selected, and now that is code inline. If you want to use blocks, the easiest way is to use the slash menu and start typing code block, and when you do that, you'll find not only can you just choose code block generically and it will default to JavaScript, and then you can choose the language, and there are many available from the block. You can also undo the block here. You can also from that menu choose the language that it will default to. So if I want a code block that's going to give me HTML, I can choose HTML code block, and it will default to, as you can see over here, HTML. So there are quite a few languages available when you select that, and these will render as code in your graph. So that it makes it's one little trick that I use the inline code blocks for, is if I have, for instance, if I'm making an example of something, if I want to talk about, this is how I do inbox tagging or something like that, but I don't actually want this tag, you can ignore the CSS that I've added to this. If I don't actually want that tag to show up, if I don't want this to show up on my inbox, I can just hit the tick around it there, and it will render it as code, which also makes it so that Roam doesn't treat it like it's an actual tag. So there's some uses for code and code blocks beyond just actual containing code, but of course they're also useful for containing code. And you'll find one of the biggest uses for code blocks, I'm not going to talk about it in the Roaman way because it deals with extensions, which goes beyond native Roam, but extensions that you load into Roam will be in code blocks, generally speaking, JavaScript ones. Though you can also do CSS. I mentioned the CSS that popped up when I did that. That's also in code blocks. So if you're doing extensions in Roam, you'll have a lot of JavaScript code blocks that then you can, there's a little more to it than that. You don't just put it in a code block and it works. But that is one of the common uses for code blocks. One other thing to note, there are some other formatting options, but one that you might run into is Latex, which can be used to render equations. That has dollar signs on either side of it there. Sorry, I didn't mean to click out of that. You can call that up as the others with the slash menu and type whatever you want in there. I have my force equals mass times acceleration there as my equation, but you can also just start typing dollar signs. If you type 2 of them, it'll launch you in there. And if you actually are, if you have something selected, like if I selected the word latex here, the first dollar sign I hit is going to automatically wrap it in both dollar signs. So then it will render as latex. So these are some fairly straightforward, but quite useful formatting options for Roam Research. And all of them are available in the slash menu. Many of them, if not all of them here, I'm not sure about latex as far as there being a keyboard shortcut. I mean, there's a keyboard shortcut in that you can hit the dollar signs. There isn't like a control or Windows plus something, but you can use the dollar signs. All of them have the keyboard shortcuts that you can use or the slash menu. And they can help you do a few extra things in your graph and have things look a little bit different and help draw your eye to places that you need to draw your eye. If this video helped you, click subscribe. And check out my Roam courses as well. I have the Roaman Way, which is a free course to help you learn the fundamentals of Roam Research. I have AP Productivity, which is my flagship Roam course. It is an 8-week live cohort course to help you get important work done in Roam Research. I have Powerful Task Management in Roam Research, which helps you build a GTD-style setup for task management in Roam. And I have Your Road to Roam, which I'm actually updating in November or December of 2021. And it is a deeper dive than the free course, The Roaman Way. It has live masterclasses, Q&A sessions, additional instruction about Roam extensions, especially Smart Blocks and Roam 42, which you can get from roamjs.com. And there's a community forum for discussion of new Roam features or help with your workflows. Roam Research is an amazing tool, and I want to help you make the most of it in your life and work.